Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 92. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and for this second double feature episode, I'm drinking a good old Moscow Mule, baby. I'm back on the train.
Ooh, baby.
We're getting into it.
I'm Joseph, and I'm drinking the Coors Seltzer. Mango
Ooh,
flavored.
I had one of those. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a grapefruit one the other night, and so I'm trying the mango one tonight.
The black
It's-
cherry one's pretty good.
Yeah, I have a lemon lime on deck.
Oh, okay.
So
Joseph, I'm sorry. You can't just open a new seltzer, not give us some more detailed thoughts. Like,
Okay,
what's the carbonation level? What's the, I need the stats.
I know you need the stats, and I'll give them to you. Let me like
Okay,
do a
we'll give
deep
you
dive on
we'll
it.
give you a minute while Gabe intros his drink.
Gabe, same shit as last week, which was actually only an hour ago. we're back to back in these. More truly, this is my second one. It hasn't gotten better. It hasn't gotten worse though.
I was gonna
so
say, how was that
Huh.
first one? Now that you finished it,
I think that it's made. If you haven't noticed from the last, if you watched the last episode, it's a lot more burpy than the other seltzers for me. I don't know what it is.
Syrup.
It might be the syrup. It's very eh. I would say it's a C tier. You know.
are you holding a strawberry right now? I thought I saw a strawberry. On
This is strawberry lemonade. They're all lemonade focused. I didn't actually, now I think about it, look that hard. I just saw Truly Seltzer, $13. Like, fuck yeah. My mistake.
There you go. I don't want to like ruin it for you, but strawberry is my least favorite flavor, so we'll see.
It's not bad. Like,
We'll see.
I'm already over halfway done with this one. This one's the one for this episode.
Oh, okay.
You cracked it or near the end of the last one. I don't
Yeah.
know if you caught
We're
that.
rolling. I'm going back to you now, Joseph. Give me the deets on Coors Seltzer.
I dig it. Better than Coors Light.
It doesn't take much.
Not a high bar. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm a sucker for mango. I think it's got a good mango flavor. I like the can design. It's like this gray and white with the like splash of color of what the flavor is.
Mhm.
It's not a matte finish, which is a little disappointing, but you can't expect too high. No, I think it's pretty good. It's not. What did we rate the highest? Truly lime, I think was our highest rated.
That was our highest
Yeah.
lime.
Yeah,
Not
highest lime.
Truly Lemonade, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I think it's a solid B plus.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's probably pretty consistent with my ranking
Yeah.
as well.
What are you drinking, Dayton?
Slam it.
I am drinking the same thing that I had last week. Pulled this out from underneath my desk from last week. Soju, strawberry flavor.
What percent did you finish in the first episode?
I
That much percent.
75% of it.
What do you do with the last 25%?
Oh, he's slamming it.
Chug.
Oh god.
Hell yeah,
You
dude.
slammed a lot.
0%
The
left.
whole thing.
The rest.
I'm gonna apologize right now. It tastes really good though.
Just say how does it taste? It's
It
probably-
tastes really good. It's very smooth. Like you'd think that if something were like 13+%, you would not be able to just like drink it that casually. But you can. Let me tell you.
Good to
You're
know.
living
I'll have to
proof.
Add that to the list.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Got a pretty tipsy Dayton rolling into episode 93.
Wait, this is 92.
92. Sorry.
Who's tipsy?
Yeah.
It's been a long week, Gabe. Okay. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at EWF Podcast and follow us on Twitch at EWF_podcast. Just do it, okay? If you want more content,
do it.
how you do it, okay?
We're noticeably more drunk in this episode.
I can already
Imagine
feel
that.
it, dude.
We're like,
Nope.
we're only like one and a half deep. I mean, except for Dayton, but it's like,
Okay, Jacob, this is the only drinks I've had since Saturday. So like,
oh, I'm in the same boat actually.
Not
Yeah.
same.
I don't know. I want to drink during the week. It's something I'm like, yeah, I want to have a beer, but it's like, I'm not really feeling it actually. I don't know.
yeah, I feel ya.
Yeah, right. Third drink.
So so for this episode, it's gonna be pretty freeform. So if longtime fans of the podcast may remember a segment called Dayton's Thoughts, all right, which was
That we did once, maybe
we
twice.
did once. That was
With
just
the
like
shitty audio.
no, this was I think
No, yeah, this was later on.
this
Oh,
was,
okay.
this was back when
yeah.
I was in Minneapolis, Joseph.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was just Dayton's what he's been thinking about, some shower thoughts, off the dome that he had written down. So I had a similar vibe this week where I was just like thinking of just random shit and I'm writing them down. I'm like, all right, I'll throw this on the podcast. All right. Number one. So I haven't said on the podcast yet. If you've been living under a rock, you might not know the Big Booty Mix Volume 18 has released. Okay, I will not stop saying it, Dayton, because I fucking love the Big Booty
Ooh.
Mixes. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
And if you're unaware, it's a mix of a bunch of songs slammed together, and it's a good time.
Bunch
So,
of bite-sized pieces of song.
yeah,
All
Okay.
the best pieces of the song.
Can I describe it, Jacob?
please.
Just because I'm an outsider, I've only heard it a couple times. It's just a bunch of songs. It's usually like the big chorus of like one song or like a big like catchy beat from one song.
yeah.
That's mixed, and then it usually fades into another song that's also got a catchy riff. So it's just like these 1 hour long songs that just a bunch of catchy beats that are like,
High
mixed.
energy.
But one
Yeah.
thing that's interesting is it's like the chorus or like the vocals of a song
Mhm.
over the beat of a different song.
Yeah.
Generally. And
Usually
so like
EDM is on the bottom. Maybe there's like
Yeah.
a guitar from a different song. Maybe it's two vocals from two different songs going back and forth.
yeah, it's very dynamic in that way and like so it'd be
It-
like, "Oh, this is the intro of X song," and then a different song's lyrics start coming up.
And it doesn't stay very long. It transitions pretty quick. I'd say
Mhm.
every 30 seconds to a
It's not
less.
even.
I'd
it's
say it's
like
less.
Yeah.
5-10 seconds.
So
It transitions.
for the most recent Big Booty Mix, I think the last three, if you watch it on YouTube, they actually have visuals with it. So they put together a package that will usually show bits from the music videos of like the vocals that are currently being played.
Mhm.
So I was watching the new one. I was like watching the visuals with it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But I came to a realization that I've known for a long time, but I've never really talked about. And it's like, what the fuck is up with music videos? Why are they always so fucking weird? All right, and I honestly, most of the time, don't like them. But I want to like, what do you guys think about music videos?
I think they're
Uh,
stupid as shit.
Okay.
I think depending that's it.
Drop the mic.
I feel like there's two trains of thought in making a music video, right? There's one that's like they hired a company and this guy's got this weird vision because he was on cocaine and he's like, this is what I want it to be. And then I find that train of thought very distracting because like especially okay, if I'm listening to a song for the first time, and this may apply to the Big Booty Mix as well, I don't want to listen to the music video because sometimes there's like little bits where they fade in and out the audio, or there's like an actual story going on that somehow relates to the song. I
Or
want to
not.
listen to the
Or not.
song,
There's a good-
yeah,
yeah.
or not, yeah. But I wanna listen to the song for like what it is, before, because you could have video that enhances it, right? Maybe. I think that's pretty rare.
Well,
And then-
what about Lydia? Gabe?
Yeah, that's my point. That was a guy on cocaine, just like, this is a funny idea. They just got this guy or this woman who can like breathe underwater for the length of the song, and she is tied down like drowning in quotes, but she can really breathe for like the whole song.
Well, I don't think she can breathe. I think she can just hold her breath. I don't think she's breathing in the water, Gabe.
She's got some
she's got
fucking
gills.
gills.
But only for the 3 minutes and 56 seconds of the
Yeah.
song, or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I think the other train of thought, at least in my genre of music, is what I call the generic "we're a band" video, where it's just them playing live, or them like hitting the drums in a dark room, and then it cuts to a guitar, and it's like it's either crazy shit or like we're a band. Look at
Like
us
boring
playing
shit.
live.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm in the same camp. There are only a couple of music videos I've watched. I'm like, that actually made the song better. One of them is the song "Those Nights" by Bastille, and the reason I like it is because the entire music video is just one shot that is never cut, that just rotates around the room. And I liked it because you really feel like the ambiance and like the setting that the song is trying to like make you feel, right? But more often than not, it's just like eye candy bullshit. Like if you think of just like WAP, right? If you watch a music video for WAP, it's like, okay, this is obviously made to just like get maximum like shareability and like craziness, right?
That's that's the song, like the audio too.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So they kind of go hand in hand in that, but it's like it's still just fucking nuts, right? Or a lot of the times, like I alluded to earlier, like there's like some like sub story that's in the video that just isn't related to the song at all, but it gives
Yeah.
something to look at. Or it's just fucking nonsensical bullshit. Like I don't know, to me it often takes away from the song. And actually, what's interesting is like this was the first Big Booty mix where I watched the first time I listened to it, I watched the video, and now when I listen to it without the video,
You watch the video.
I see it in my head, and it kind of ruins it a little bit for me. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck, like I don't want to be watching these music videos in my head because they're not good. Like, I don't know, it's weird. There's a couple in there I was like impressed by, but like just because the way it's shot and like the visuals they use. But more often than not, it's either boring or just crazy for no reason, or there's some stupid ass plot.
There is one good music video, and that's one me and Joseph like a lot, is the Arctic Monkeys one.
Well, I was gonna
Yep.
bring up
And that goes to the beat.
there's three music videos that come to mind. One of them being that, which is like it's all like drawn,
It's
right?
animated, yeah.
Yeah, it's animated, and like so the album's called AM, which is like AM radio. It's also Arctic Monkey. It's a little play on words.
Ooh.
But also so like they do a lot with like frequency, with like strings of the different tones, which is kind of cool, and like some different visuals. And like some of the visuals are just kind of like ridiculous, but some of them fit really
Dude,
cool. And
They have a bit where all four instruments, including the voice or whatever, are playing, and you can see their wavelinks, and that's
Yeah.
super. That enhances it, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
and then there's a
doggone.
point where like there's the four different lines of the four different. I don't know if it's instruments or like tones, right? But then they like all come onto one. So then there's like a green line for whatever mid tones, and a blue line for the bass, and a red for like the highs or whatever. And it's kind of cool. There's also like one of my favorite bands, Lawrence, has a music video for their song "Probably Up." So "Probably Up" is like, I'm an artist. I sleep during the day and I work at night. It's basically the plot of the song, but the music video is them. It's like I say real time, but like it's a one shot footage of them because they live in New York, of them in New York, and it's like sped up, and it's like from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. and it's them like out in the town getting food, getting drinks, singing, and like they go to a park and like it's them singing at one point. And I think that's really cool.
And I think the point you're making, Joseph, is like, yeah, the best music videos are one that break the mold and are different
Yeah.
from just.
But those are the only ones I like remember, right? Or like a Childish Gambino's "This Is America." I think like that adds quite a bit to the song. Where the song itself it's an okay song, but I think the music video was made. I think he wanted to make the video, so he wrote a song for it. Is what it feels like.
He was making a point.
I think that's like the best music videos are videos that leverage music instead of music that leverage video.
Yeah.
Because like I remember seeing a music video, I think it was by like OK Go or something like that. The treadmills, like the treadmill dudes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like an objectively cool video, and then the music is just kind of like there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dayton, have you watched a lot of EDM music videos? Because I haven't, but I can't imagine they're good. Just 'cause
No,
the
I
nature of
haven't. The
EDM.
only time that I've watched EDM like music videos, I want to say they're like where they just basically take live sets of like the DJ or like the producer and just like
Just like cut them together.
yeah, it's just like it's fucking lame.
Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, like when we watch like Haywire, some of his videos that he has with his songs, it's like him, I mean, playing it, right? But like hitting the jump
Yeah.
pad.
I remember
or,
At
like,
least that's, like-
he's very non-traditional though.
Yes.
Well, at least with Haywire, it's like that's still one shot. Like that's him like in that session playing the song.
Yeah.
I think what Dayton is saying too is like, or I've seen too, is like it'll be like a bunch of festivals where they played and just like cut between the festivals. And people
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
oh, the song's amazing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. But I enjoy videos that are just them playing the song live, like uncut, because like that you get to see a different side to the song.
Well, that's
the
more of
artist.
just a recording at that point of the.
Sure.
That's just a live version at that
Mhm.
point, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Live versions definitely have like their own like cut of audio, right? Like it's not perfectly mixed, and there's something special about that. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think like music videos that are like really stand out are ones that make like the subplot ones never really do much for me because it's like you get more distracted in like what's going on in the plot than like the song. You want it to like complement the music, right? Like you want it to shit that gets edited with like music or like the chorus hitting and like shit happens makes me wet. That shit's amazing. I fucking love that shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I think
badass.
the percent of music videos that, in my opinion, are like worth watching is like very low, like probably 5%. Like considering all the music videos that exist.
Have you seen the spooky, scary skeletons music video?
I have
That's a
not. So
solid
wait,
one.
is that just like the skeletons dancing or whatever?
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
some old animation from
Yeah, it's
like
the
30s or 40s. It's old as fuck.
what's it? The rubber is it rubber knees or something that they used to call it? Where
Yeah.
like the or like the I don't know the old style where they like kind of bounce a little bit.
Yeah, so
Like
they're
that
always like
style.
bouncing, but they
Yeah.
edit it to the music, and it's fucking awesome. It's such a good music video. The song's so fucking catchy and so silly at the whole.
I have it
same
in my
time.
head right now.
I know.
Scary skeletons. They're like passing each other heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was just like a cartoon, and then they like
So the
they
song
just
is
cut it
after,
to the
yeah,
song.
they-
Yeah,
they just
they
added it
wrote the
on
song.
top.
Yeah, yeah, they just took an old animation and cut it for it. I've
Any
seen-
listeners out there, if you have any music videos you really like, send them to us. We'll check them out.
Mm.
Yeah. So this, I was gonna. Okay. Spoiler: anime is gonna come up in this podcast more than once.
God damn it.
I
Oh,
was
shut
gonna-
the fuck up, Gabe.
I was gonna wait,
You're
but
just
this is
ashamed.
actually a good. We're not getting to you yet, Gabe. We're not getting to you yet. This is actually a good segue. So, recently been watching anime because it's my safe place, my comfort zone, you
Mhm.
know. And Joseph, tell me if I'm wrong, but
Okay.
a lot of times the opening songs in anime are just fucking bangers. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
like they're just so good. Okay, but most of the time, and okay, when I say opening songs, like if you remember when you were a kid, for those who don't know, and you watch like cartoons, there's always like the theme song, right, that
Mhm.
plays before the episode. Every anime has those,
Mhm.
and it often changes over the course of the show. They'll have a new one or whatever.
Like every like major story arc, it'll like shift.
Yep. So there'll be a song, and then the visuals will be like, you know, what's going to happen in that arc, and you'll see like characters like, who's that character? But you know you're gonna meet him, you know.
hmm
So my first question, Joseph, is: are anime intros music videos?
No, because I don't think it's always a full song. Like
That is
the
correct. It's
the
often
intro is
truncated.
usually like a shortened version. It's like what, a minute, if that, minute and a half
yeah.
maybe.
That's
So
fair.
it's not a full song, right?
That being said, I feel like if the song is about the show, I feel like it kind of is, because that sometimes is the case where the song was written specifically for the show.
Yeah.
And it's about the show. I don't know, because what I'm getting at here is I've been listening to a lot of anime intros recently, because for some reason I'm just like, these are fucking good, and like the
Okay.
full, you mentioned they're truncated, the full versions of some of
Mhm.
these songs are just amazing. Like Joseph, you and I watched Demon Slayer together, and actually
Yeah.
Dayton watched some of Demon Slayer with me when I lived with him.
Mhm.
Ooh,
The full version of that intro song fucking slaps. Like it's already pretty good, but
Yeah.
the second verse comes in, I'm like, ooh, I didn't see this coming. And it's like, wait, this is actually like really fucking good. So like that's amazing. I sent you, Joseph, the intro to Mob Psycho 100, which is an anime I just watched and I freaking loved. The season 1 and season 2 songs are amazing. The full versions are just awesome, so I've been just banging into those. So yeah, anime intros, amazing. Check them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabe, we're talking about anime. All right,
I
we
know
gotta.
where this is going.
Elephant in the room.
I just got it. Just break it down for me. How has your experience been with Attack on Titan, your first anime?
I hate how much I love it. It's so fucking good. Like so this conversation came up, right? Because I'm a big fan of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I finished Legend of Korra for the second time, probably 2 weeks ago, and they're both great shows. You should check them out. They're both on Netflix now. But Tim, our other roommate, he had a weeb face, and Joseph also, he watch whatever you watch with him or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's take this to another level.
Well, yeah, because Tim had seen the first season of Attack on Titan.
Sure.
It came out
In
however
2012,
many-
2013.
A long time ago.
yeah, quite a while ago. And then there was a big gap between season 1 and season 2. So he had seen season 1 like a handful of times.
Yeah.
So like Gabe and I were watching it, and he would be there sometimes. But then as we were getting near the end of season 1 and like season 2 started, he like was immediately invested.
He's
in
always
it.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
you're ahead of yourself, Jacob. Back up. How did you convince Gabe to watch this show?
It
Well,
wasn't that hard, really.
Okay.
I had already convinced Cooper to watch the first episode because he had watched another, what was it, Food
Wars. Yeah.
Food Wars or something, and I was like, hey, let's just watch one episode of it. And like it's very gory in the first episode, and
It's really okay. The show with Attack on Titan, it's fucking disturbing as shit. Like it's
Yeah.
giants. It's giants that are ugly that look like people eating regular humans. Like it's
Yeah.
very gruesome.
yeah, there's a lot of they're not afraid of blood and like bones breaking and like just like showing someone getting bitten in half or like shit like that. Like they're definitely not afraid of gore.
See,
So it's a little jarring at first. But I mean, he had finished or was near the end of Korra, and I was like, hey Gabe, just one episode, and we watched it, and he's like, oh, okay.
okay, we also watched Castlevania, which
Yeah.
is also a Netflix show that is an animation. So I wouldn't say, I mean, it's anime inspired, but it's definitely like, is it American anime? Yeah.
It's just animation. Yeah. So yeah, you like animation. It's like
I like animation. I just
the hard part.
I know the tropes, right? So I have some grievances.
Yeah.
That I will share. I mean, Joseph, you want to say something before I have my
No,
grievances?
I would just say like the hardest part I think was convincing you to watch it subbed rather than dubbed. So instead of like, because it's a Japanese show, right? So the original voice actors and actresses speak Japanese. That's what the show is written in. So then, like after it's released, they'll have American actors come in and voice over it, or they'll just translate it and subtitle it. And a lot of times, the American voice actors just fucking shit the bed.
Shit.
Like, there's just not as much money in voice acting, and like especially in English voice acting. I feel like for those types of shows, I should say.
And it's hard to do like the screams and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in Japanese culture, maybe it's more. I'm speaking on my ass, but like I feel like it's a little more accepted than like usual. But like in American shows, you're not getting that much screaming.
Well, it's more
not.
common in the commonly written in TV, so it's gonna be more common for the
They
more
practice
commonplace
it
for the actors.
every day they shower. They practice their screams.
Ah! But yeah. So like just one episode. We've already been watching TV with subtitles. What's the
we
difference
have
now?
been. I've been doing that a lot more since I've been living with you guys.
Like we're working you in. You're already used to it a little bit. Just one step further.
Yeah, I guess.
What are the grievances, Gabe?
Yeah, so obviously, I'm still watching it. Like I enjoy it.
We started the third season. So.
I mean, just to say briefly, the mystery in that show is on another fucking level.
Yeah.
Just like, what is going on? And they keep giving you little breadcrumbs, and you're just like, I
Mhm.
need to see more. Like what? Like what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I love that, but also I think it's also kind of a flaw because it's always like they always end on this thing. It like encourages you to watch the next episode, and the way
Crazy.
it's crazy. The way it was like, from my understanding, was released was it was on a weekly basis. It wasn't like a season drop like Netflix does now. It's like you have an episode and you wait a week, so it's like, oh, what? Kind of like Game of Thrones, like, oh, what happens next? So that kind of sucks because like I like to sleep. And it's like fuck, one more. Like I don't know. Like
Dude,
what's gonna be the worst cliffhanger? And also the other big thing too is like you said, we've been listening to it sub or watching it subbed, which takes a bit to get used to. But I don't like if I like look away for a second. I lose something. Like I lose some conversation or something.
Yeah.
I guess I would say the final piece that's a little weird is the pacing is just so bizarre, and I don't know if it's a trope of because there's a lot of fucking tropes in anime. Obviously, like you see it even in American culture all the time, like making fun of it or using it to their own strengths. But like the first 3 episodes, like 5 years goes by. First 4 or 5, I should say, and then like episodes 7 through like 12 take place over like 20 minutes and like it's like them discussing like, oh, like if I could only do this, I'm gonna do this, see next time, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and that just drives me fucking crazy because like I know, like, stop being a little bitch, get up and do your thing. Like clearly you're gonna do the thing, so fucking do it.
Yeah, that's a trope. I mean, not much of the time skip that happens, but like anime loves going in slow motion to the point sometimes where it's like, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
It got frustrating.
There's an episode in one of my favorite shows called Hunter x Hunter, where one episode, which is like 25 minutes, the timeline only progresses 30 seconds through that entire
Oh my
episode
god.
because there's so many different planes of action and it's all moving in slow motion. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah, there are some things, but I was surprised you didn't mention like the main character.
Oh, I fucking hate him. He sucks. He's
the
garbage.
3 main characters are kind of garbage.
And that's
Mikasa isn't the worst,
Mikasa's the best, honestly.
but like that's a pretty low bar still.
The thing with Attack on Titan is like it's so good for having such subpar characters. Like it's kind of crazy. Like most anime, the best part is the characters.
It's like
Attack on
Star
Titan is
Wars.
like,
the world is the best part.
Yeah.
Like, the main character, Dayton, I know you look confused, so I'm gonna explain to you this main character. He is the most self-righteous piece of dog shit I've ever seen in a show. He's always like, I'm gonna kill them all.
I need to save everyone. It's all on me. I need to do it.
Ass kicked, and then he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it all. And then his best friend is just like this fucking pitying dumb. Well, he's smart, but he's a fucking little bitch. Every time he's like, oh man, everyone doesn't believe in me. I have to depend on other people. And they bring it up like all the fucking time. And then
he's like, oh, I've got a plan. And they're like, what's your plan? And it's like a great plan. And
it's a
like,
great plan. And they're like,
fucking,
they're like, you're smart. That's your contribution. He's like, nah, I'm dog shit. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're great. You know it. Shut up. You're fishing for compliments, Armin. And then you got Mikasa, all right? She's this badass bitch. I'm not even kidding. There's no motivation behind her protecting the main character.
8 years ago.
That doesn't count. She's like they're like, I don't know, technically brother and sister, I guess. Like,
but also like she kind of wants to fuck him, you know?
She kind of wants to fuck him.
Oh yeah, especially
like,
at the end of season 2.
I swear to God, any time he gets mildly in trouble, Mikasa throws 2 sheets to the fucking wind and just puts her whole fucking life in danger for no goddamn reason other than she wants one preteen's dick. It's so fucking annoying. Besides the characters.
It's a really interesting show.
And yeah, like I said, like that's not typical. Like, and usually in anime, like the characters are the best part.
They're pretty bad. They're getting better, I think, as the show goes on. Like,
I think you also have to realize, like, when it starts, they're like what, 7? and then
Or
5
the
years
first episode.
passes. Huh?
Yeah,
The first episode, they're like 7, and then 5 years passes. So they're like 12, 13 right now, where we're at. So
Well,
it's like,
that's like every even like American like teen novel. It's like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
15-year-old is saving the world. It's like, all right.
yeah.
Well,
We
in
know
Hunger
this,
Games,
but-
isn't she like 14 or 15?
Yeah.
Katniss or whatever.
So like, yeah, you can't like expect them. I mean, we
Okay.
were 13, right?
Yeah,
you know
but,
how
like-
you act at 13.
I feel like they didn't write them as annoying. I don't know. Like I don't remember Katniss. I guess Luke Skywalker is pretty fucking annoying.
Yeah.
He's
In
a
the
whiny
first-
Sucks in the first.
In the first movie, he just whines the whole fucking time. As I'm whining about the characters. I don't know. It takes some getting used to, I will say. Like I said, I still enjoy it and I still like watching it. I look forward to watching it. But
Gotta
there's
watch
a,
Demon Slayer now.
there's
I
a
was
lot.
saying, Joseph, like once you finish, you gotta get on Demon Slayer.
I
dude.
am
They're so
worried.
fucking good.
I am worried that I'm just gonna go down this rabbit hole. I'm gonna be that guy. Like my whole part of my personality is making fun of Jacob, and now I can't. I have nothing to stand on.
You don't have a fucking leg to stand on.
Exactly,
Anymore, my friend.
garbage.
So yeah, earlier when you said like every episode ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like, I
Yeah.
gotta keep watching. I feel like you understand me a little bit better now. Why my sleep schedule has been fucked for
I
ever
did-
since I started watching anime, like however many years ago it was. Because that's what happens. It's like, but one more. Like I just gotta see one more episode and see what happens. And
You
it's
almost
like-
gotta stop in the middle of an episode.
See,
You're just gonna be like, okay,
yeah.
this is where I'm stopping.
Well, and that's why living with Joseph was so good for me because Joseph had to go to bed at like 10:30 for work. And I
Yeah.
could stay up, and I'm like, well, Joseph's going to bed, so I can't watch it anymore. So we're watching it together. So that helped me
Yeah.
like cut me off.
And I'm pretty good about, okay, I'm going to bed. I don't give a fuck about this cliffhanger. I need to sleep.
that's the thing is like I feel like I've already started like picking my cliffhangers. Like
Yeah.
literally, I mean, it wasn't yesterday. The day before that, we were watching, and there was a really big cliffhanger, and we had enough time to watch one more. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's watch one more. And then the cliffhanger ended. I'm like, I don't really care about that. Like this character just shut up out of nowhere. Who fucking cares? Like if I watch the next one,
Like,
I'm
I'm
gonna-
interested, but
yeah,
it's not enough that I need to watch it right now.
exactly.
It's
If
like
I
this
watch
is
the
a cool
next
speed.
one,
Yeah.
I'd have been another 2 episodes deep. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're liking it, and we'll transition out of anime for now. There's
Thank
one
God.
other mild thing I gotta bring it later. Dayton, let me run this by you. All right, this is an idea I had recently, and I think it's $1 million idea. You ready for
All
this?
right. Let's hear
Okay.
it.
Dayton, how drunk are
Well,
you?
don't put it on a podcast for people to listen to, otherwise you won't make your $1 million.
Well, I don't see it me implementing this fantastic idea, but
Okay.
so I moved to this new place, and it's I'm at the point where I'm like I need an oil change pretty soon, so I'm getting an oil change tomorrow. Yada yada yada. I also need to find a dentist, because you just got it. Joseph, as you know,
You don't
Yeah.
need to go to the dentist.
you gotta get your teeth cleaned.
Eh,
But,
do
but
you?
Dayton, let me ask you this: how often do you have to get an oil change, roughly?
Isn't it like
Depend-
well? It depends on how old your car is.
Just
Yeah.
give me a rough estimation.
I mean,
How
probably
many times
like
a year? How many
well,
times a year?
it depends on how many miles you drive.
Also depends on what type of oil you use. If you're using
Okay,
synthetic,
two-
it's a lot
2
longer.
times a year is what I was trying to get at. Every 6
Saying.
months, you get an oil change roughly.
Two-
Okay,
Well, it definitely depends on the age of your car.
but in general,
Well, you can't say in general, because a new car you can go up to 10,000 miles. An older car
Yeah.
you shouldn't go more than 3.
My Jeep, I got changed every like month and a half.
you guys are ruining my $1 million idea. Okay, so
Are you gonna describe Uber for oil
No,
changes
no.
right now?
No, he's gonna
But-
do drive-in dentist where you get your oil changed and teeth cleaned at the
Close.
same place.
Dayton, you're close, but it's not.
No.
It's not quite.
As long
But
as
yeah.
the guy who changes my oil doesn't also clean my teeth, I'm fine.
Just
talking
cleaning
about
your
a
teeth
joint-
with the used oil.
Oh.
I'm talking about a joint business, Dayton, because just hear me out. Usually you get your teeth cleaned twice a year, and usually insurance is like twice a year for teeth cleaning, and oil change twice a year, both about every 6 months, right? So here's what you do: it's a joint business. Dentist right next to an oil change place. You drive up, you drop off your car, because how long does an oil change take, Gabe? About 30 minutes. How long does it take to get your teeth cleaned?
It takes
About 30
15.
minutes.
It takes 15
What kind of
minutes.
oil change are you getting?
Yeah.
Well, if they do like the like I go to Midas, they give like the courtesy check. They check things out, make sure you're okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's so they can make you spend more money. The last time I went, they asked me 20 questions. Like the guy, it was some 15-year-old had to, or 16-year-old had to ask, like, "Oh, have you checked your filter?" Yes. What about your 4-wheel drive juice? Like, fuck up.
What about your blinker
But-
fluid?
I'm here for oil. All right, just
Yeah.
give me oil and get me out of here.
in any case, I think it would be cool to drop off your car, let it get its oil change while you get your teeth clean, come back out and it's done.
No, that doesn't
Nothing-
work.
Jacob,
Two birds, one stone.
Because
Jacob-
what if you're going for a road trip and then you add extra miles that you weren't expected, and then they're not going to line up as well as you think. You know,
But,
it's
like,
Jacob-
it might work out.
I'm
There's gonna
gonna
be
be
a couple
real.
times it'll work out.
Okay, give me the truth, dude.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think that this is some harebrained idea that I would expect to pop up in about 1920, where people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're like, "Yeah, this seems like a valid business venture. Let's go ahead and do this."
Jacob, it sounds like an idea Todd from BoJack
That's what I was
would come
about
up
to
with.
say. Literally what I was about to say. That's a Todd idea.
Okay, the Todd version is what Dayton said: is you get your teeth cleaned while you're in the car while it's getting its oil change. I'm just
You
saying these
recline the seat back.
Yeah.
I'm saying these two businesses are just next to each other and they have a working relationship, but you don't have to go to both. You could go to one or the other. I'm just saying, for the times it lines up, you can just knock it out, two birds, one stone. All right, it's like
yeah.
a strip mall, dentist, oil change.
Wait, hang on a second.
Actually, the
here.
oil change place by my hometown is right next to my dentist.
Dude, the same,
Dude,
same.
Maybe this already happened.
There's a Valvoline literally right across the street from the dentist, like
There's
a mile
two
away
oil
from
changes
me.
by my dentist.
I feel like most of the time I get my oil change, like, it's like I don't even get out of the car. Like, I just sit in the car and, like,
I know,
stay in the car.
but we're saying,
Yeah.
dude, Gabe and I, we both have
yeah.
cases where
Oh,
where
there's
these
literally
symbiotic
two.
relationships have evolved.
I'm just saying, man, it's not a bad
I'm
idea.
not, yeah. The thing is, I guess it depends on, like, the oil change, right? If it's, like, a quick lube or whatever,
Jiffy Lube or whatever.
or what, there's, yes.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Guys.
drive into the garage, right? And they lift or you like drive over the thing and they like do the oil change and you leave. That's different than like taking your car to like a dealership and them doing your oil change where you like drop it off, right? And if it's like a drop off place, that would make sense. But if it's like a drive in place, because then if your dentist appointment takes longer than expected, like your car's just sitting there and like you might still have the keys or whatever, and they don't, the
I was
process.
thinking of like a drop-off situation where you give them the keys, they do your oil change, and then park it, and then when you come back.
Yeah. See, that I could understand.
I'm gonna send you guys a screenshot just so you understand
How
how many places. Like now that I'm looking at it, there's a lot. all right. You guys ready for this?
we just posted, dude. We just blew this thing wide open.
Okay, I think I got it. Yep. Okay. So the dentist is the red one, obviously.
Should I pull this? Should I pull this up on Twitch?
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know
we
if I
got
know how
two-
to do that.
We got the Fast Eddies, and then we got
Napa also does oil changes. Also, there's that auto repair
And a
place down
family
the road.
video.
And the
wow.
Youngs also does oil changes.
so we're seeing at least 3 spots here.
Yeah,
Hey, is that
Pretty
KFC?
far away.
it is, Joseph.
Interesting.
You got a comment?
Were you go
Joseph,
for a
you have no-
threefer?
Joseph, you're not allowed to bash Gabe. You haven't been to the dentist in like 5
Hey,
years. Okay, I'm
hey.
putting you on blast right now.
That's
Oh,
where Gabe got his first oil change.
I
Yeah.
got a threefer.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
he got the bargain bucket there.
Yeah.
All I was trying to say is maybe like the husband and or wife owns the oil change and the opposite owns the dentistry practice. Symbiotic relationship, it's like you call one and you can be like, can you also get an oil change? Like, oh yeah, we'll set that for you. it just think it'd be nice. All right, it'd be a fun little idea.
What if it were
Little
next
pet
to a
project.
KFC, and then
You get
use
dinner.
yeah, you get dinner, and then you use the oil from KFC in your car.
All right,
Dude.
we're gonna move on
And
to my
then-
next
Finger
one.
licking good, dude.
So here's my next one. So you guys are all like in like industry more or less, right? I would go
Sure.
for industry.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Uh-huh.
Fuck getting quotes, dude. I've talked about it before a long time in the podcast, but I'll talk about it again. Whenever you have to request a quote from some company for how much a thing will cost, I hate it. I hate it. Just put the fucking price on your website. I know you just want my information, all right? You want my info so you can try to like sell me on shit. You want my phone number so you can call me and hound me about when I'm gonna buy it. Fuck off, okay? Put the prices on the website.
Well, like for us, we get like deals from like companies that we buy from. So like because we buy in bulk a lot of the time, so we have a discount with this company, like with the supplier. So like our price is going to be different than another company's price.
Joseph?
To make it a little login situation.
Joseph?
Yeah.
How many times do we need to say this? This podcast has no place for logic.
I think your Korean wine is hitting you pretty hard there.
Get the
Dayton.
fuck out of here.
You're right, and I apologize for introducing logic into this scenario.
No, Joseph or Dayton, you said that in our group chat the other day. We were like dissecting when a photo was taken. And
Yeah.
I, like, had a reasonable answer and reasons why, like a bulleted list of why it was in this year or at schooling, and you're just like, get that logic out of here. And that was the end of the conversation. Just ended it.
Boom. Done.
Logic has no place.
Okay,
Because like
Jacob.
Joseph, sorry, quick thing. So Joseph,
Yeah.
like with the discount thing, like we have a supplier from Purdue for like lab supplies, and we have an exclusive deal with them.
Yeah.
When you go to the website, they have like the list price, but if you log in, then you can see your discount price.
Mm.
Just saying, a lot of people could do that.
Yeah.
But Gabe,
They
sorry, I
could.
cut you off.
I have a problem with quotes, and it's not even my problem. It's Tim's problem, and here's why. He got a couple quotes from some auto insurance
Is
places.
that why we get a bunch of junk mail?
Yes, this is where I'm getting, where I'm getting to this. He picked a provider. He has base coverage because his car.
Doesn't
He's
need.
got insurance. Leave it at that.
He's met the legal requirement of getting car insurance. All right,
Legally,
that's all you
he
need to
has
know.
insurance. That's all. That's all the car's worth. That's all he needs. Regardless, to this fucking day, which he got that like, I mean, probably close to 6 months ago at this point, we still get fucking mail from those other companies that he like signed up for the quotes for, and they're getting more and more personal. They're like, like the last one was like a local Geico insurance agent or whatever, and they're like, give us a call with like a little handwritten note. Fuck off. Like, you clearly picked someone else. Like,
Like, it's been 6 months. Take
It-
a hint.
I don't care if it's a handwritten note. If it's more expensive, you're going to go for something else.
Dude, could you imagine if you extrapolated this scenario to like dating and like even once you were with somebody for like a year, you still had these freaking suitors like
Yeah.
like handwritten letters be like, "Hey Gabe, I still think that you're hot and sexy. Have you
I know
ever
you're
thought
in the
about?"
Don't fucking
months
say that.
ago.
I don't like that. Should we match before you deactivated your account?
Dude, I'm rather more thinking like you mattress or somebody on some dating apps like, hey, can I get a quote for you, please? Like, what? How much is this gonna cost me?
It's like emotional turmoil. It's not like monetary. It's
Yeah.
it's emotional pain.
Hair loss, time lost.
But yeah,
Complete
speaking of
lack of
time,
energy.
The problem with the thing with quotes, it takes time. You gotta email, and they gotta email you back, and you know, do it right. You gotta do another exchange. Like, I just
Okay.
need the fucking
The
price. dude.
quotes usually come back pretty well. I guess I'm talking insurance. Those come back super quick. It's
Yeah.
just like they got your shit now. They'll give you the price.
I have a interesting anecdote. I got a call, so like, cause I had to get renter's insurance for this house, right? And so I like got it 6-ish months ago whenever we fucking moved in.
May.
Yeah. And so I was like, looked around a little bit, picked one, whatever. And then, I recently bought a car, as I had mentioned previously. So that company, and I went with a different
Trying to
company.
bundle home and auto, Joseph?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I shopped around and I tried bundling home and auto, and it was way more than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went with something else. And anyway, I got a call from them like, "Hey, we saw you were looking at auto insurance, blah blah." And I was like, or no, they called me and they mentioned, "Have you gotten auto, blah blah blah?" And I was like, "Yeah." And "Oh, how long have you had that?" I was like, "A month." And they're like, "Oh, so you're not looking to get rid of that?" No, not at all. He's like, "Oh, okay. Have a good day." But it was just like, "Hey,
sets a
you want
timer
to
for
add
5
shit?" And I'm like,
months.
"Yeah." It's like,
Hey.
I've already had it. I've had it a month. I'm not gonna cancel.
Yeah, I heard
after
you
a
have
month.
money. You wanna give me some of it?
Yeah.
We
Fuck
can
outta
give you a service that you'll probably never use.
Well, hopefully. That's the shitty thing about insurance. It's something you pay for and hope you never have to use.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pay for it, you might as well use it.
No.
That's why I get into a crash every month.
Yeah. That's what Joseph was talking about last episode about just fucking veering off the road.
Yeah.
Might as well get some insurance money out of it.
Fuck
Alright,
you,
here's my
Subaru,
last-
with the faulty steering wheel.
Lane assist works backwards and it shifts me into lanes.
Here's my last thought for the day. So this one is leaning a little towards serious, so I'm curious to see in the mood where it's gonna go. It's not that serious though. So this is a quote from One Piece, which is an anime I love dearly. And I guess have some
Which
context.
episode? Is it 500 and whatever, or is this an earlier?
No, it's in the 200s.
Okay.
So the
got corona.
context is
I got corona.
From a sneeze. Not even a
Single
cough.
sneeze.
so One Piece is about this pirate crew, and they sail around the world. And at one point, they're sailing, and this dude kind of shipwrecks, and they end up on their ship. It's just one guy, and
Mhm.
they hit it off super fast, and they become fast friends. But then his ship finds him, and he has to leave. So they were only together for 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, right? But they're
Mhm.
just were the best of pals. And when he leaves, he says this quote, and I'm curious what you guys think of it, because the more I think about it, I think about the scenarios where it's true and how true it is. But friendship is not determined by how much time you spent together. What do you guys think?
That's
Oh,
all.
that's
There's
it.
nothing more.
I thought that was the second half.
Yeah,
I
there's
thought
gonna be
there
a
was-
but.
Friendship
Yeah.
is not defined by how much time you spent together.
I mean,
think
that's
that's
just the whole
true.
quality over quantity thing.
I tell you what, getting drunk at a party, meet some random guy, we could become best pals in that moment. Exchange Snapchats. Haven't talked to him since. But at that moment,
But Joseph, if you saw him, if you see him again, you're like, it's my guy. What's up, dude? It's
Yeah.
It
You're
reminds
friends
me
again.
of that. I think it's a Reddit. It might be a Tumblr post, but it's this story of two guys in college who happen to both wear striped shirts, and
yeah,
they just became friends strictly off of the shirts. They were both wearing stripes, so they became friends.
But so obviously, in the short term, I think it's oh yeah, great. You can I think we all experience you can meet someone and meet this person's cool. I like hanging out with them. Yada yada yada. We're friends.
Mhm.
But I think the opposite is also true. It's while time does build friendship, there is a limit, and time past that point doesn't necessarily make you better friends. So, and the reason I say that is because I have some high school friends who I'm not friends with anymore, and we were friends for a long time, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9 years, and it's that ended, and it's and to me I don't know, it
I feel
ended
like-
because you reach a certain point of friendship where you're not really growing anymore as as a relationship, and it's
Yeah.
if that gets replaced or it just doesn't work anymore in your life, then that can just go away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I also feel like high school friends are an interesting thing because you're in high school, right? You're still pretty young. As we said earlier, your brain's not fully developed until you're 24, 25-ish. So you're going to be changing through that, and then you usually go off to college, and that's a huge change. So the person you are in high school is very different than who you are post high school into college and workforce.
Yeah.
And I feel like that change is a lot larger of a change than the college into workforce change, right? Where like we're all still really close friends, right? After we've all graduated. But I feel like my high school friends, like it's a different kind of friendship where like, at least for me, where like, yeah, I might not talk to them nearly as often, but when I do, it's like we're still friends, and like we can still like hang out and like, get along really well. I but there's definitely like I've definitely grown since I talk to them, every single day. And
So like, question is just you've grown and they've probably grown, but has your like relationship grown, or is it
no,
like, kind of the same? And that's like,
I'd say it's pretty similar.
Hang on a second. Didn't I have a Dayton's thoughts about this?
Probably.
we've talked about friendship before.
Hang on a second.
I don't know if it
I'm gonna
was-
pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up
Dayton's pulling up the original segment, the original Dayton's thoughts segment.
in my notepad. Keep on talking
Yeah,
while I look
you
for
got
it.
it saved.
I do.
But I guess like I'm trying to get is I feel like sometimes there's like tiers, like, and the tiers
Yeah.
are unlocked through time, but there's when you meet someone like that friendship has like the tiers are locked in, you just don't know what they are yet.
Mhm.
And there might be a long period of time where you're not going up a tier, or maybe there is no tier above, like you reach the maximum amount of like what that relationship will be, and no more amount of time will change that.
Yeah.
But I thought like the quote is meant in the context of the short term. But I think
Yeah.
it also could be true in the long term as well.
No, I definitely feel that where like you can yeah, you like can hit it off with someone right away and like make a short-term friend, 20, 30 minutes, right? But also like there's also those strange circumstances where like you make that weird friend, I say weird friend, but like that weird chance where you make a friend in a short term and like yeah, you're not super close with them, but like every once in a while it's like, oh, you're like your friends, you like meet someone like on Steam or whatever, like playing
Yeah.
games, like, oh, they're on, I'm gonna fucking play Rocket League or whatever with this person. That was always a fun time, and like, you go back to that. And I think, granted, you're not like, obviously it's a different like type of friendship, right? But
I
Dayton,
found
you
it.
find the result.
I found it, by the way.
What was it?
So I'm just gonna paraphrase it because it's kind of a longer one. But it's basically like talking about high school friendships and like how we've known them for a long time and like we've been through a lot of like very distinct changes in our life. And as like we get older, it's harder to keep those relationships like intact. But I think if you can like keep on transforming it from like a high school relationship into more of like an adult relationship, it ends up being very rewarding.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean,
but
I can,
it's like the conditions of transformation are not time often. It's
yeah.
more
No.
like effort or
I mean,
circumstance.
my dad, right? He has two really good high school buddies. One lives in Detroit because I mean they're from like the Detroit area. So one lives in that area. My dad lives on the opposite side of Michigan, and then their other friend lives in like Chicago area. But they're still really good friends. Like they come over on like, 4th of July, or like once a year they try to get together, and hang out. Or usually it's more often than that. But like I don't know a single one of my dad's college friends. No idea. But like I know his two high school buddies. And I think that like yeah, like he definitely valued those friendships more, and I'm sure they put more effort into that and like made that into more of an adult, right? I
Mhm.
say adult relationship,
Yeah.
and friendship. So yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
I mean, even with my high school friends, it's still like whenever I come home, and it's like I can't really like do that many things when I'm home because like a lot of the times I don't like have a car and like I'll have to like borrow like my parents' car, but like it just like amazes me because my high school friends like still want to like hang out with me even if we're not like doing anything,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
that's
no,
just like
I get
I'm just
that.
like what, like I mean I get like that I haven't been around for like a long time, but at the same time we're not gonna be doing jack shit. I don't know.
But,
They
like,
miss you, Dayton.
you still want to see your friends. Like, I totally get that. Like, that's happened when I've gone home and it's like, I want to see my friend, and then you go and you just sit around the house and just like be in the same room. But like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, you just have that.
Well, it's because that becomes the special event, right? Like the special event isn't like what chaos can we cause today.
Yeah.
It's
I
that you
haven't
are in
seen
the
this
same
guy
room.
in however many months.
I know,
Like,
but it just
even-
feels like boring to me. It's like I want to do something more than just fucking sit
I want to go to
around.
Sky Zone like we did that.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
that boring to me though. Like I mean, I had to see one of my friends I haven't seen since last December, I think. Like this November, like for Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to it. Probably won't do shit, especially with like Corona. It's not like we can even go to a bar or anything.
mm-hmm.
But I'm excited to see him because like, oh, that'll be fun.
It's different from like a phone call even, because like, I don't know, just being in the same room, like you'll have better conversation, I think, and you'll just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
be
because
together.
I feel like, well, at least with like a phone call, right? Dead air is like kind of weird. But
Yeah.
like, and when you're just hanging out, like you can
Normal.
put on
Dude.
TV or a movie or like just be on your phones and like dead air is, oh, look at this meme,
Yeah.
you know, or some shit.
Exactly. 'Cause, yeah, it's way less awkward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you made me realize an epiphany. Is like, yeah, like if you have a relationship with someone, a friendship with someone, and you want it to become differently, it's not going to happen on its own. Like you have to actively make an effort to transform that into something you want it to be. Because like just waiting
Mhm.
it out, you may still like maintain that relationship, but it's not gonna evolve in any way,
Right.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's like just a high school thing though, really. Like in any relationship, like your life's gonna change and like so is theirs, obviously. Like you're both
Mhm.
hopefully like trying to change things for like, you know, better, like trying to progress your life in some way. Like you both just have to I mean, if you want to be friends with someone, you have to set time aside for it to engage with that person, and they have to do the same thing. And they both have to be, you both have to be changing in a way that you are comfortable with, or is in an encouraging way, I guess, for one another. I think that some of the best change that I have had is like other people pushing me to change as well, right? And I think that that can make even better friendship. Like I have friends. Like I know you said it before, Jacob. Like you have friends that are like for certain things.
Mhm.
So like if I'm talking about like fitness or whatever, it's like I have friends for that, and those people push me to do that. I have friends for my guitar stuff that I feel like I don't talk to Josh a whole lot unless it's about guitar, but I get a lot of satisfaction about talking to him about it. Like we're good friends because of it. Like
Mhm.
you can push and change together if you find a reason to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Whether that reason's just caring or a hobby, you know, it really depends.
I'm trying to think if the four of us, our relationships have changed like over time, and I think it's the times they have is just who's living together when. Like
Yeah.
when the four of us lived together, it was one, and then we all graduated and kind of went different groups. It's changed, you know.
Yeah.
But just because like that's kind of a time thing, because like you see each other more if you live together, but it's also the roommate dynamic changes things a little bit too. So
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is more of an active
I can
change.
say like living in, you know, a house with 7 guys, 8 guys. It was a lot different than living in an apartment with Jacob.
Yeah.
Or living in this house now with Gabe and Tim, right? But like even like, you know, the relationship Gabe and I had when it was 7 of us, right? You know, it's like, oh, Gabe's doing this thing with this person versus like, oh, Gabe's in the living room. Okay. You know, I don't know. It's like there's just very different dynamics.
He's
Really.
playing guitar too damn loud.
Yeah. Or like living with Jacob. Hey, that's not my dish. Must be Jacob's.
Dude, that's such a nice feeling, just like knowing exactly whose it is. Because
Yeah,
with
it's like
the house
oh,
with 7 people, it's like who the fuck's
there's
dish is this?
there's at least 8 people this could be, and I can narrow it down, but I can't say for sure.
And most of them they forgot that it was theirs, and then you
Yeah,
never actually know, and you
but
end up
it's
doing it
like
yourself. And you're just like, it sucks.
if there's 3, 4 people, you can figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see how our friendship grows over time, but
Gross.
I'll have to wait for another episode of the Engineers That Filters podcast.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at EWF Podcast, and you can follow us on Twitch at EWF_podcast. If you want to watch our episodes live and or early, usually on Thursday nights.
Or both.
Or both.
Live and early.
Whatever floats your boat. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.